Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we have our family podcast, Big Sam and Nephews and Sherry. Today, I'm going to be one nephew, I suppose, and will be no Coach Sherry today. She's working on her master's degree, so she had all day classes. So
she's being smart. She's being smart. That's all.
She's being smart, doing smart people things, and I ain't mad at her for that.
Neither am I.
So anyway, please, subscribe to this podcast, family podcast, Big Sam and Nephews and Big Coach Sherry. And it comes out. We do this once a week, every Sunday at 4:00 Central Time. And then, of course, it gets sent over to Ashley, and then Ashley does a flip around for us on YouTube. So big shout out to Ashley, too, the production person. She's our video graphics person.
She's on it. She makes it happen for us.
Right, she does, because I'm not that smart enough to do that. I'm just a talent. That's it. Just saying.
Just a talent.
But yeah, that's it. That's what I do. I don't know how to do anything really. I guess I do know how to do some stuff. Hey, I just figured out how to get on this YouTube broadcast, Zoom broadcast. Remember that? That was embarrassing. Well, I won't go into detail about that. Move my stupidity on.
That was new. That's all. That was newness.
Right.
It was newness.
So we're talking about the playoffs, man. It's interesting.
Let's do it.
Phoenix is going back to Phoenix. They'll play the Clippers. I think, just my own opinion, you can disagree with me if you want. That's fine. I think Phoenix is going to end up sweeping the Clippers. Not sweeping them, but win the next one in Phoenix.
Yeah,
because they just don't have enough manpower, and I don't think it's the coaching at all. I just think it's the player. It's the personnel that they have.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I watched half of the game. And I thought the game was decent. I thought the game. I mean, they actually played defense. I mean, the Clippers could have won the game, so the series could be tied 2-2.
Right.
So that game was a toss-up game, right?
Right.
But now, I mean, I say that the Clippers, they have a fighter's chance. You know what I'm saying? So Chris Paul, he did allude to, hey, look, we were up 3-1 in Houston and we lost to Golden State. So it can happen. It can happen. I mean, they could get 2 and go back to LA for 7. It can happen. But I mean, you're depending on Zubac playing out of his mind. You're dependent on Reggie Jackson scoring 20.
Right.
Terrence Mann getting 40.
Right.
Paul George not missing 2 crucial free throws.
Right. And I just think that you're asking Paul George to do really the impossible, because Paul George cannot put this team on his back and carry this team. I don't think he can. Right. I could be wrong, but I don't see him doing that. I don't.
Yeah, he just needs one more solid, consistent person. That's really what they're missing. And that's what Kawhi gave him, was like, we're solid and consistent, both of those together. And now it's like, okay, what are you going to get out of Reggie Jackson? You might get 25, you might get 7. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody that's saying, hey, look, I know he's going to get 15 a game. I know he's going to get,
You know what I find interesting, though? This is like the Final Four for the NBA playoffs, correct?
Anybody can win it.
3 out of the 4 coaches are coaches of color.
Yep.
I just noticed that just the other day. I said, wow, those 3 coaches are all of color.
Yep.
And there's going to be a coach of color that's going to be in the championship. Now, switching over to Atlanta, I think same thing with Atlanta. Atlanta might have a fighting chance, but I just don't see Atlanta knocking off Milwaukee, because the Bucks, they had the one team, with the exception of Atlanta, that's all healthy. Well, maybe the Suns are healthy too, but they're all healthy. There's no one suffering any injuries at all.
Right. I think
At Jiffy Lube, it's
I
our
thought
job to
that
make content make sense.
sorry, that was ESPN. I I thought Atlanta was gonna, man, I just couldn't believe that they got whooped by 40. I was like, 40? I mean, Trae Young only had like 15. Everybody was like in single digits. Really, really bad shooting night. I mean, I don't think they can shoot that bad the rest of the series, Atlanta. I mean, because when Atlanta hits, they it's on. You know what I'm saying? So
Especially at home too.
yeah. So I mean,
and they'll have some home cooking in Atlanta.
yeah, I mean, you had Lou. I mean, you had a lot of things happening. I was like, everybody just shot real bad. Trae Young was, 5 for whatever. It was just a bad game. I mean, you can't have those two in a row. I mean, especially in the playoffs. I was like,
maybe one, but not 2 games.
Yeah, not 2 games. Atlanta's not that. I mean, Atlanta's not that bad. I mean, they're actually pretty good. So, I think Milwaukee will split right now and then go back up 3-2 going home. So
right.
They'll be able to close out. It all depends. It depends, man. Sometimes it just depends on who does what. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you though. Atlanta has a fighting chance. Like
they do have a fighter's chance.
They can still win the series tight. Like we can still win the series and go to the finals. I mean, I heard a lot of people's like the NBA championship is a toss up right now.
It really is.
It's a toss up. It's like, oh snap. So I'm like, yeah, anybody could win it. I wouldn't be mad if Phoenix wins it, just because I like CP3. I would not be mad at that.
Would you be mad if the Bucks won?
No, because I like Giannis.
Yeah, and with Giannis, if he just stays down low, that's all he's got to do. Don't be trying to shoot those threes, man.
Yeah, man.
Stay down low on the low post, man, and he can go to work. Because he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
No one can stop him down low.
Atlanta doesn't have anything for him.
No, they don't.
It's I mean, they can see it. It's like, dude, it's like, come on. They have nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? So
nope.
This is only game 4 series. I thought this was game 4. Oh.
Yeah, when Giannis shoots those threes, he sort of plays into Atlanta's hands.
Yeah,
he's like, go ahead, Giannis, shoot the threes, man.
Go ahead and shoot 5%.
You'll be like 2 for 17 or something like that.
I'd rather Dwight Howard shoot threes than you. That's not bad.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
I wouldn't go that far and say that. Do you ever see Dwight Howard shoot threes? No. At least Giannis makes it somewhat presentable. Dwight Howard, no, I'm sorry. And then that team is so in a mess. Philadelphia is such a mess right now. They're just there's just so much talk about them getting rid of Doc Rivers is going to get rid of
Ben.
Yeah, Ben Simmons.
I don't think he'll get rid of him.
Yeah, he is. He's going to.
Oh, he can't.
Yeah, he can.
I mean,
the right trade comes along.
Yeah,
if they get enough. Yeah. The talk is he may go to Golden State. And Golden State's got some pieces to trade for Ben Simmons, right?
Picks.
Yeah, you got Wiggins.
And shoot, they got 3 picks, 3 first-round picks at that.
Right. So don't you think that they should throw in a pick or two and get Ben Simmons and relieve him from? See, my situation with Ben is that I think if Ben goes to Golden State with those shooters that played for Golden State, I think Ben would be more inclined to become not a good shooter, but a decent shooter.
Yeah, he'll be inclined to become a decent shooter, but he could be Draymond number 2.0, bigger, faster, stronger. And the only thing Draymond can do is Draymond has a hunger to play defense, though, so it can't really be Draymond. But he can bring the ball up. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, hey, look, I could, you could spread the floor around. He could drive and kick. He's a really good.
Well, Ben Simmons is so young. He's only 24 years old. So his youth is playing, is in a big effect for him,
Mhm.
So I wouldn't write him off and say he's a bum, but I wouldn't go that far.
No, he's not a bum. He's not a bum.
No, he's not at all.
He just have to find his game.
Right. And I think the situation is you got to find it with a different team, because the team he's on right now, they're talking about trading him, and I get that,
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say Philadelphia, but yeah, Golden State would be a fit because, like you said, he would be inclined to become a better player. I mean, Kerr is going to hold
right.
a higher standard and say, "Hey, look, we need you to do this." He's going to tell him what he needs to do. But Doc has to get. I think Doc. I don't know if Doc is going to give him a chance to say, "Hey, look, we need you to shoot." I don't know what their conversation. We don't know what their conversation was.
Well, I've heard some not so good things about Doc Rivers and his coaching.
He's old school.
Right. And I'm finding that the coaching styles have got to change somewhat, because now Becky Hammons didn't get a job in Portland, and that GM he was adamant about hiring Chauncey Billups. And it's like, that was not a good hire for them. Chauncey going to Portland, no.
Yeah, I think that Chauncey has been in the mix for GMs last couple of years. He's been in the mix to become a general.
Well, the thing that's hanging over Chauncey's head is that he had an allegation of rape.
Yeah. I mean,
and that scared some GMs off.
Yeah, no, I get it. I think that I didn't know how much of a relationship him and Damian Lillard had. So that kind of plays into why they want him to be in Portland. And then Carmelo Anthony is still there. So they play together. So that's a little thing. I don't know how long Carmelo probably only got like 1 or 2 more years. But
two at best.
Yeah, because he's still serviceable. He still can get.
He is. He is not a bum.
Yeah, and then he knows his role. So he knows, hey, look, I can still come in and shoot the ball and play a little bit, and I can rebound. And so I think they'll be all right. I don't know what kind of coach Chauncey will be, but he knows how to play basketball. So
correct. That is true.
And he's a really, really smart. He was a really smart player. So it's just like, he has but he's been with Ty Lue. He's been with the coaching staff. So
well, I predicted last week that there were going to be at least 3 black coaches that were hired, and Boston hired a black coach, Portland hired a black coach, and then Jason Kidd went to the Dallas Mavericks.
Who did Boston get? Oh, they got the dude from Toronto.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's a good little that's a good little coach right there. Like, he's smart.
Right.
So
right.
I think what's happening, but now, the coaching is, NBA is weird. NBA is easier for the black coaches to get jobs. You get looks. You just don't get looks at GMs. Like, yeah, we need a GM. I don't know.
And then Sam Cassell was the other one that might get the job in the Washington Wizards. May hire Sam Cassell.
That'd be good.
Because they already hired what I call a recyclable coach, and Rick Carlisle's now at Indiana.
Indiana, yep.
I mean, they haven't hired a coach down in New Orleans yet. Nope. So that would be, that's because the job is up for grabs too.
Like I said, I'll be interested to see what Becky Hammon can do as an NBA coach. I'd be really, really.
Well, you know what?
I know she can.
No, she can coach. I don't know where she's going to end up, because the GM at the owner is a woman now. She's some kind of relations with Mr. Allen, and the owner wanted to hire Becky Hammond, but the GM kind of jumped in the scene and said, "Oh, I want to get Chauncey Billups," and it's like, wow, he has a lot of issues with that rape case still hanging over his head, and so I don't know, but I'll tell you what, if Chauncey doesn't win right away in Portland, he's going to be out of there. They're going to run him out of town.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, he has to be in the playoffs and probably be like a 9. He has to be like the 7 seed, AS 6.
Something like that. Right.
It's tough to get that high. You know, anything if you get to 4, that means you're 30 games. 20 games over 500. 20. So if you get to 7, you're still 15. You're still 15 games over 500. You're still probably 50-win team. So
right,
it will be decent. This is one of those times like, can you get them into round 2? Can you get them?
Well, the thing is that now they've had this emphasis on hiring these coaches of color. So the guys like Sam Mitchell now overlooked.
Right.
The guys like Terry Porter, who coaches Portland State, he would have been a good choice to coach
Portland.
Terry Porter is like Mr. Portland.
Yep.
But so now this push, he's got these other coaches that are coming up now, the black coaches, and so what happens is that the Sam Mitchells of the world, the Terry Porters of the world, they're not going to ever coach in the NBA again because I don't think they are, because they've kind of gotten overlooked now for, this younger. I think some of the younger coaches, So right. That's just my opinion, and I'm sort of biased because it's like, man, if ever there should be a guy to get another chance, which would be his third chance, would have been Sam Mitchell, but he only had 2 chances, and of course, here they're not gonna hire a black coach here.
No. I mean, and the thing with Sam Mitchell, man, I was like, he was in Toronto. They fired him after great seasons in Toronto.
Correct.
And then what was his other one? Indiana, right?
No, he went to Minnesota.
Minnesota.
And they fired him there. And he had a good season too.
Yeah, he was having a good season. I mean, for what he had.
But see, I think that the media was really big. They weren't big on Sam Mitchell. They kind of got him fired. I think they did, because I would be in the back there, just listening to those guys talking, and just like, you couldn't say anything good about Sam Mitchell at all. Even when I would go to bat for Sam Mitchell, you still could not say anything good about Sam Mitchell, because they were always just tearing, oh, man. But the problem is that, see, Sam didn't get along with the media at all, even as a player and then as a coach. Yeah. Didn't play the game the way that the media, because sometimes the media is in some towns, not all towns, but in the NBA, these guys, if they don't like you, man, they're gonna try to get you fired.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy that the media has so much pull.
Right.
And they just say, oh, my sources said that such and such and such and such. And
a lot of times you don't have a source.
Yeah.
That's just you. You don't like this guy. Guy doesn't give you an interview or whatever, or he just talks to you like you're trash. So then you're like, let's get rid of him. I want to get rid of him. Like, your source didn't tell you jack.
Sometimes you are trash. I gotta let them know. Sometimes you are trash. It's all right. It's all good.
And in Minnesota, they hired. They got different assistants now, but they have 3 minority assistants now for the Timberwolves. So I was kind of glad, because they rehired the one guy that was from Israel. He was at Portland at one time, black guy. They hired him back, And then they hired two other guys that were a guy from down South America. I know he played over in Spain. He been pro, and then another guy that had been in the league for like 20 years or so. So, and I don't think it's going to make a difference in Minnesota. Just my opinion. They can have all the different coaches under the sun, but unless you get some talent, you know, to go along with that.
Like they don't have a philosophy of what they want to do. You know?
Well, they keep saying that they do, but it's like, oh man, your philosophy is garbage.
Okay, so it's like, okay, who's the coach now again in Minnesota? It's
the guy that used to be the assistant at Toronto.
Oh, okay. So here goes the thing. So it's like, you know, what's your identity gonna be? You know, again, what's your identity gonna be? You know, are you gonna get players that can buy into your identity of how you want to play the game? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, are you gonna be a defensive team? Everybody wants to be offensive, but how are you gonna play defensive? You know, are you gonna have, you know, somebody who just, you know, as everybody calls them, you know, are you going to have some junkyard dogs? You know, you're going to have somebody like Patrick Beverly and some real stoppers that can do some things.
They don't have a guard like that, but I'll tell you what, it's not working out with the guard from Kentucky. And his name slips my mind, and then him and Cat playing together. They do not work well together at all.
Who that? Russell.
Russell West, no.
I gotta look at who's on their team. Like I don't even know. Because they got what do they have? They have teams. It's Minnesota, right?
Right.
Minnesota, where are you, Minnesota? Let's see your roster. Let's look at Minnesota's roster. Yeah, they have no one. Golly, man. Ricky Rubio, D'Angelo Russell.
Right.
Who's from Ohio State? Who's the kid from Kentucky? Uji don't get he doesn't get enough run. And
we're talking about trading him.
Yeah, I mean he's athletic as crap too. Like really, like this dude is like super athletic, man. They got some guys, but they need some real talent though. I mean, they got a couple of young guys, but you know, they need some talent. I mean, they went back and signed, man, Ricky Rubio to a $17 million deal. Like, who does that? So Ricky's the highest paid on besides Carl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo. I'm like, man, 17 million? What?
Well, the other problem with the Timberwolves is that you're in the process of selling a team. You got a new coach and a new coaching staff, and they just got too much going on right now. I mean, it's like you got J-Lo's ex-boyfriend. Him and his guy bought the team.
Yeah, A-Rod.
A-Rod.
Yeah, I think Minnesota, man, they just haven't, ever since KG left, they haven't had a real identity. I mean, I guess Carl Anthony Towns was supposed to be that one. I want to see how Anthony Edwards is going to develop. So that's a bright spot.
Well, I think he's going to be okay. Anthony Edwards is going to be fine.
He plays how we thought that Wiggins was going to play.
Right. So and Wiggins didn't play like that.
He has the same talent as Wiggins had, but with
he's more aggressive. He's more hungrier.
Yeah, he's more. His mentality is different. Because I mean,
right.
Wiggins is like, you know, you look at Wiggins and you would think that, you know, man, he doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't care. Like, oh, okay, you know, whatever. I'm just out here. You know, I'm gonna give you a couple of buckets. I'm like, dude, are you gonna care? Like, come on, man. You are Harrison Barnes, the worst part. Like, come on now, like this guy.
Oh my God, Harrison Barnes is much better than Wiggins.
Yeah, yes, that's what I said. He's Harrison Barnes, but worse. But I mean, like, as far as like competitive fire. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't show that I'm ready to win and I'm gonna take your throat right now.
No, he's not that guy. And the thing about it is they had Cat, they had Zach LaVine, and they had Wiggins at the same time that Sam Mitchell coached that team. And the strange part about it was they were almost on the verge of getting it together, and then Glenn Hader said, nope, I want to fire Sam Mitchell.
Yep. That was the long time that everybody was, and you can see the talent, like Zach LaVine was the best person on the team. So
oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, you can see.
And then they got rid of him.
Yeah, like you gotta go. Like, what? You get, I mean, he got hurt. I get it, but
and then he comes and then he comes, Levine comes back, they trade him to Chicago, and now he's an all-star at Chicago. And
right.
And then what is Wiggins now? Still a bum.
Role player.
At best.
At best. Role player on a man, Clay comes back next year, man. And it's you got Clay coming back on that team, and what's do they have? What's the rookie? Wiseman?
Right.
Wiseman's gonna be way better. I mean,
right.
The boy is only 19, man. The boy is only 19.
So they've got some pieces to work with in Golden State.
Yeah. You give Wiseman this year and next year. Oh man, he's going to be a bona fide 15 to 18 points a game. Right. And then he's not afraid. He plays big. So he doesn't play small. He plays big. I'm going to go block a shot. I'm going to rebound for you. Hey, he doesn't fall in love with the 3-point shot. He has a really, really good 18-foot jumper, face up, back down. So he has a really good post game too. So I want to see how he develops, and if he's going to get stronger. How much?
Yeah, Wiseman has to get stronger.
Yeah. I want to see how much bigger is he going to get. Is he going to get like, Dwight Howard? Well, honestly, he doesn't need to be Dwight Howard big, but
if he gets like KG big, I'll settle for that.
Oh hell yeah! He's left hand. He's like almost a left-handed KG, man. Like that's the type of talent he has. I'm not saying he is, but he's a left-handed KG. So with a better stroke from now. So, but KG's 18-footer was wicked. 20 feet, done. You got to get up on them. So, hey, we got like 7 minutes left, Uncle. Just FYI.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. So, who do you have winning the championship? Who would you put your money on?
I got Milwaukee. Milwaukee's the healthiest team right now.
Yeah.
So I see Milwaukee winning the whole thing, and then we'll deal with summer and then go from there. Because I don't see anybody else. Because clearly Atlanta just doesn't have enough talent. They have some talent, but Atlanta surprises me though, because I didn't think Atlanta was going to be in the hunt, but they're still in the hunt.
Right. Like I didn't either. Like I knew that they could play, but I was like, man, y'all are too young. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys are too young to play. But I mean, they got the kid Herter. He shoots the ball. I didn't understand. I was telling somebody, I was like, I didn't understand why they picked up Lou Williams. Like, why would the Clippers? Because the Clippers need Lou Williams now. They're like missing him. But
well, that was a mistake. That was a mistake move by getting rid of Lou Williams, because now with Kawhi being hurt, you can use Lou Williams off the bench, but they don't have a dynamic scorer coming off the bench anymore with the Clippers. Nope. And so I think that it's going to be Phoenix and Milwaukee's going to end up in the finals. That's my pick.
Yeah, that'll go a good 7. That'll go a good 7.
Right, because I think that the center for the Phoenix Suns can at least contend with Giannis. He won't be able to dominate. Giannis is still going to dominate anybody that plays him, period.
Yeah, he'll get the points, but I think Ayton can move. I mean, he's as strong as Giannis. I mean, he's young too, man. He's on like
Right. Yeah. He's young. Right. Absolutely.
and he has a real good now he has a real good basketball IQ where he understands the game too, though. And then you have Devin Booker on the other side. It's like, okay, Booker and Middleton are going to check each other. Okay, and then you have CP3 and Drew Holiday, as the other premier
Well,
match.
I think CP3 is just he's a smart guard.
Oh yeah, yeah. He just really outplays a lot of Now the game slowed down for him, so now he's like, man, I can just play. I could always get to my shot. I could always get here. I could always get there.
Right.
So that's that. I mean, then you got Mikal Bridges. Yeah, I mean they got a squad though, man. They got a squad.
They do.
They got a squad.
Yeah, I think Monty Williams is just an excellent coach.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, when he was in New Orleans, he was good too, though. But his wife died, right? His wife died, and that's what.
Correct. It is correct.
Yeah, so that was that kind of. But yeah, once he came back, he was like, "Look, I'm ready." And then it was like a perfect storm too, though. So you got CP3 and Monty Williams at the same time.
Right. And that helped.
Yeah, and then
Monty
Monty.
Right. So I got Milwaukee and Phoenix in the finals, but probably with Milwaukee winning it.
Yeah,
that's my pick because I think Milwaukee's the healthiest team now.
I can see that. I have Phoenix winning the championship right now.
I don't. I got my money on Milwaukee.
The reason why I say Phoenix because they're always consistent.
They are.
And I think they played better defense than Milwaukee. That's just my opinion. Like you said, it just all depends the matchup. What can Giannis do against 8?
Right.
Is he going to dominate, and is the others going to dominate? But then again, I'm like, they got PJ Tucker, they got some pieces, but
yeah, they got good pieces.
Yeah,
they picked up PJ Tucker from Houston.
Yeah,
he's a monster, man.
Yeah,
undersized, but
yeah,
he gets those rebounds, man.
And Phoenix got Crowder.
Right. Right. That is true.
A little bit younger. I mean, they got 2 dogs out there. The dudes, man, they don't back down from nothing.
Right.
So yeah, that'll be a good matchup, man. That'll be a really, really good matchup. So we'll put some money on it. I'll put 5 cents on it and I'll cash it.
Just before we go, I heard a comment. Jalen Rose made a comment about Kevin
Durant.
No, not the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kevin Love signed. He got picked up to be on the Olympic team. He's the only Caucasian guy on the Olympic team. And
wink.
And basically Kevin